morning, people of the web. This is Jason Wydrow, host of OnlineStrategyPodcast.com. So I'm going to answer a general question that I had actually several years ago, but it's just applicable. It was then as it is today. So I did not see any reason why I shouldn't make a podcast about it. Basically, it wasn't one question. It was a series of questions from different customers. And what one of the specific question was basically, what does search engine optimization mean to me and my business? And this individual had a website online. I actually built his original website back in 2006. And I remodernized the site in 2009. And then later did some other upgrades and updates like 2012. But he was coming up in the search engine, showing up, but he just wanted to understand more about exactly how he can improve some pages, what he could do, and things like that. And I wanted to give him the best guidance possible. So, in a nutshell, his question was, what is search engine optimization and how can I improve it for my website? Well, the first thing to understand is search engine optimization. And that is pretty simple. Basically, it's how search engines find your website. And I mean, that's really simple words. But more in a more detailed way, it's how they find your website in relation to the content you have and connections that your website has. And again, that's a very broad, general definition, but I'm trying to keep this pretty simple. So, imagine your website is filled with content. And imagine all that content is very organized and it's relevant, meaning that it's associated with the subject matter of your website. More or less, all the content is relevant. For example, if it was a car wash company website, there might be a blog about how to better detail your car, what types of soaps to use to avoid damaging the paint on your car. In other words, these are all relevant topics to your main topic. And you're not, in other words, you wouldn't necessarily be promoting how to make the best pizza on this website. Although you could, but it's not really related content to the business and to the nature of the page's data. So relevance is one important part of a well-optimized website. Keeping all of your content organized and relevant and categorized can really help keep the structure of your site and the content understandable by the search engines. So let's imagine that a search engine, and I'm not going to imagine this, but let's say that the search engine is thinking, what is this website about? What target most closely resembles what this website specifically is about? What does this website do? Let's imagine that the search engine is asking these questions. Not an individual, but a program called an algorithm that the search engine uses to determine what the website is all about. So when someone goes in on Google or any other major search engine and they search how to clean my car with the safest soaps, or what soaps should I use to clean my car, and let's say you had some very relevant content on your website on that subject. Well, likely odds are you're going to be indexed, meaning that you're going to come up somewhere on the search ranks under that search data, given that everything is very relevant and clear and associated with one another. Now, that's just one part of search engine optimization. That's just one little tiny part. But if you're thinking right now, well, if I just fill my site up with content and I duplicate a bunch of content and I make it look like I've got 500 pages and they're all basically the same article, and this and that, No, that's not going to work, because that was tried back in, like early 2000s, late 90s, kind of tricks and hacks and ways to kind of try to trick the search engine into finding your website. But that was quickly overcome by the search engines, and that is not a strategy at all. So honesty plays a major role in search engine optimization as well. Honesty meaning, again, the relevance of content, what you're promoting, and what your company really is, and not trying to represent yourself as something that it's not through lots of different content or duplicate content. In other words, making it look like you have more content than you do by trying to fool the search engine some way. Not going to happen. The other part of search engine optimization, well, I should say one other small part of search engine optimization is the subject of backlinks. And this is something that a lot of, you might hear a lot of talk about, it's really important to get backlinks. Basically what backlinks are links from external websites that link back to your website. Maybe they link back to a specific page. Maybe they lead back to your home page. It could link back to a specific article on your website, whatever it may be. But these are links from other websites that are linking to your website. Now, what the equation is and how the math works on this is that the search engine figures, well, if your website is listed on other websites and they're linking back to you, and those websites, those other websites have credibility, they have some substantial credibility, meaning they've been online for a long time, they're a trusted source for data, they don't have reports about them, all these different factors that can come in that can help your website ranking in your optimization. And again, optimization, it's when someone's searching for you or your service or product in a very general terms, and you're being ranked in Google and potentially coming up higher in the search engines than your competitors. That's the whole idea, right? So anyway, back to backlinks. So link building is another strategy that a lot of companies use, and it's very wise and smart, and to build relationships with other associated companies that aren't necessarily competitors, but that you can share your links with to help promote one another and to help on your search engine optimization backlinking. Again, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, companies were buying, 500 domain names, 500 website names, creating 500 websites, and then putting them all over the internet and then linking back to their website. So they were artificially creating backlinks. This was a strategy that was tried. And the search engines, again, can easily overcome this. I'm not going to get into the technical reasons how, but it's very easy for a search engine to determine if a backlink is coming from an associated type website, meaning the ownership of it, the actual where the website lives, the actual server that it's on, and all this data is very easy to be determined. So again, if you thought that could be a strategy, it's not going to work. So the key to search engine optimization success really lies in the creativity and cleanliness of your content, your backlinking, how many links link back to your website from credible websites, and really negotiating on those and jockeying those two things are going to help your online presence. Now, of course, there's all kinds of other things you can do. You can create YouTube videos, Vimeo videos, social networking campaigns through Facebook, Google+, Pinterest, depending on what type of business you have. And you can create all these types of networks, that essentially create some type of backlinks. They also create, a network to promote your site. So it's more of like a marketing strategy too, but a lot of that does tie into your optimization as well in terms of, linking back and promotion for your website itself. So anyway, I know this was kind of a general description of search engine optimization, and I plan to break each one of these points down in the future to really clarify and get into detail maybe more of a how-to format and more of a specific format on, for example, backlinking, writing your content, and things like that. and some of the tools you can use to measure your content to ensure that it's adequate, an adequate balance of content and data relative to your content. So there's a lot. It's a very involved subject. It's not as 1, 2, 3 as a lot of people would like it to be, but again, it goes. Realize there's competition. When you have competition, you're going to have the brains come into use. The smarts come into use on strategizing and resolving. How you're going to approach a real search engine optimization campaign. So again, thanks for listening, and let's all have an awesome day.